Voice okay? Okay, good. And
Check, check, check. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. As you can see, Rabbi Nematov is not with us today. I am not Rabbi Nematov. He had, sorry, Mom. Okay. He had something come up. He wasn't able to make it. So you get the second string today, but we'll do the best we can. This is not second string here. This is.
Well, thank you.
You're in for a real treat. We'll begin on page 70. Turn back, please, to page 67. The second reading on that page will read responsively. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Turn to page 68, please.
Mm-hmm.
page 76. Since I have a choice, I'd love to hear you sing some more, Michelle.
Oh, well, it's not there. Thank you. What'd you have in mind?
It says that you may play, or that we can read. It says, I don't know a tune for this.
I don't either.
Okay.
I guess we're reading.
I guess. Then we'll read together the reading at the top of page 77. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware. We would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, v'machli ba'asos. Page 78.
I don't know if you're familiar with this melody, but this is something my congregation did a lot. So there's some Hebrew involved here, and then there's some English involved. So I invite you to join in. I'll do it a few times through. This talks about waking our souls. Like our bodies might be awake, and I don't know about you guys, but sometimes our minds might not feel awake. So if our minds aren't awake, maybe our souls aren't awake either. So let's stretch it out a little bit. Elohim shamash natatavi, tevorahi, tevorahi. Elohim shamash natatavi.
We turn to page 80, the Nisim B'Chol, which we do responsibly. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasan l'sech b'bina, havchin ben yom uven lo'ela.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivri.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rukah ha'aretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechim mitzadei gaber.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hanotein Laya Koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, hamavir sheno me'enai, u'smuno me'afafai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani b'tselem Elohim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, sha'asanu ben chorin.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, sha'asani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, ozer Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, otei Yisrael b'tifara.
Page 86, we conclude with a lesson for the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvosav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Stone Cold Jam coming up, page 88.
Page 88.
Yeah. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu kibud avayim ugmilus chasadim v'hashavat beit hamikdash shacharit ve'arim. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu v'hakasat orim uvikur cholim v'hakasat hana ulvayat hamek v'hun tefillah v'hun tefillah v'avat shalom bein adam v'chavero Talmud Torah niged kulam Talmud Torah niged kulam Talmud Torah niged kulam Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Eilu devarim shahin lahem shiur. Ve'eilu kein.
Page 97, we're going to do Ashrei, which we haven't done for a while, but it's a standard part of the service. We used to do it every week here, so we're going to revert. Michelle has graciously conceded to me that we'll do this one. I appreciate that. Ashrei yoshvei v'secha hod yehalalucha stella. Tehillah leDavid, aromim Elohai hamelech, v'avarcha shimcha le'olam va'ed. Gadol Adonai hu lol me'od, v'ligdulaso ein cheker. Hadar kavod hodecha, v'divrei niflosecha osicha. Zecher rav tuvcha yabiu, v'tzidkascha yiranenu. Tov Adonai lako, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Kavod malchuscha yomeru, v'gvurascha yidaberu. Malchuscha malchus kol olamim, memshalcha b'chol dor v'dor. Enei chol elecha yisaberu, ve'atonus Elohem ezochlam beito. צדיק ארנוי בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו. רצון יראיו יעשה, ויש שבתם ישמע ויושיעם. תהילת ארנוי ידבר פי, ויברך כל בשר שם קדשו לעולם ועד. ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם. Hallelujah. We turn to page 108, Rise for Love. Page 110. We'll see. We'll read the first few verses, and then let me see here a second. Oh, you're going to say you have the melody.
I can do one.
Okay,
I don't know if
good,
y'all know it,
good.
but I'm happy
I
to
would-
share it. It's
I'm having a lot of fun up here.
Me
I want
too.
you to know.
Do you guys know this one? It's literally the only one I know, so I don't know. But, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ol varech hashech oseh shalom uvarei et davo. You guys know that one? Great, we're gonna learn it real quick. So, which lines of this are there? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. It's just like the first, 3 lines of the prayer, yeah. So, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. Sounds good. Melech haolam. Now up really high. Yotzer ol varech hashech oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. I think you guys got it. Okay, let's do it really fast this time. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ol varech hashech oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ol varech hashech oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Last time, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ol varech hashech oseh shalom uvarei et hakol.
Very nice. Page 112. Again, yes.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to do a jam here? Are you gonna read, or you want me to do a jam?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, we're gonna do a jam. my understanding is you guys have done this piece before, but it might have been a while. So there's a call and response piece to this first part. So for the A section. Together. Let's do that again.
Turn the page. We're going to do the first paragraph on page 116. Then we're going to do the next paragraph. Then we're going to do the first paragraph on page 118, and then conclude. Be'ahavta es Adonai Elohecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al vadecha v'shinantam b'necha v'dibarta b'am v'shivtecha b'veisecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shaftecha uv'kumecha v'shartan la'os al-yadecha v'hayun l'tetachos b'neinecha uv'savta al-mezuzos b'eisecha uv'yisharecha v'yomer Adonai al Moshe lemor Daber el b'nei Yisrael v'amarta alehem v'yasu lahem tzitzis al kanfei b'gdehem l'dorosam v'nasnu al tzitzis hakanaf v'stil techeles v'haya lachem l'tzitzis urisem posto Uzvartem estom mitzvos Adonai v'asisem osam v'lo sasu acharei levavchem ואחריניכם אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 122. Yisrael, Kumavias Ras Yisrael, Uvdefinu Mecha, Yehuda Yisrael, Go Aleinu, Aronai Tzvaos Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Baal Yisrael. Stay standing.
Sarah, Ataki Polel Maradai, Mechaila Polatara, Belshida, Mashifa Ruha, Umorita Gashem, Mechakil Chaim Mechese, Mechaye Hapol, Rakakina, Zomecha, Umati Nasiri. Oh
we read silently to page 142.
יהיו לרצון רפי אגן ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון רפי אגן ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי Adonai tzuri v'goali Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goali Yihu leratzon refi egon libi lefanecha Yihu leratzon refi egon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goali Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goali
Page 244, and we rise.
Kim kamocha b'Elohim Adonai ve'en kema'asecha malchutecha malchut kol amim umemshatecha b'chol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitain Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom Avarachani eiti b'retzonecha eti
Today, we're going to be reading from Terumah, and the chapter and verse is Exodus 27, verse 17 to 19, and in the blue plout, you can find that on page 552. If you're using the green women's commentary, you can find that on page 866. For the one aliyah that we're doing, I'd like to honor two people. First, Tim, for all the work. Come on, Tim. You stepped forward at the last minute, and you've been doing a wonderful job. And then something a little unusual to honor somebody remotely, Rabbi Nematov, if you're listening in, we'd also like to honor you for the first aliyah.
Baruch hu es Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Voed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam. Asher B'char Banu Mikol Amim V'nasan Lanu Es Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen. We're doing something a little unusual today. I'm not able to memorize all the tropes in 24 hours. It is kosher to actually have somebody read the Hebrew with the tropes as long as somebody can point in the Torah as we read along. Amen. Kol amudei hakazer saviv mekushakim kesef veyehem kasef va'anehem nekoshet orek hakazer me'ava amolerokav hamishim bechamisishim vekoma hameamot shesh moshzar vehanehem nakoshet vechol kele hamishkan bechol avodato vekoyate dota vekoyati dot hakeser nekoshet.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Olam. Asher nasan lanu Torah emes v'chayei olam nata b'sochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen.
We're now going to have a Torah study, and Grace Elizabeth is going to lead that.
I'm excited to facilitate text study with y'all today. Really, my job is to introduce the text that we'll be going over in the text floor sheet. Folks on the live stream, Liz has dropped a chat because Liz is amazing like that. So you should hopefully be able to follow along as well. Yes, thank you. Make sure everyone gets a copy. Amazing. So last week's Parsha took us to where Moses has received the commandments and teachings on the stone tablets, And this week will take us into where we get instructions about the tabernacle, which will hold the tablets, kind of the materials required and the dimensions needed for constructing it. Did I get a volunteer to read the first text box in English? Go for it. Yes, make 2 cherubim. The text, the box part. Yeah. Perfect, thank you. I'd love a sense, first impressions, both kind of what are you feeling, what is surprising, not surprising, interesting, boring. But also I'd like to know not just what your first feelings, impressions are, kind of just would like to know what are your first visualizations, what are you kind of seeing when you're imagining these cherubim, what kind of are you seeing in your mind's eye there? Yeah, go for it. Interesting. So where are we pushing the borders of idolatry here? Yeah. Good question. And so where's the line between building the cherubim and the golden calf, right? Like they're both interesting.
I mean, is it okay because God's telling these people to do it? Like the golden calf, like it's kind of our concoction, right? We're like, that's not okay, but because I tell you to make the golden cherubim, like that's cool. All right. Sure.
So whose initiative it is? Yeah. Good point. Yeah, especially to other parts of Torah where we don't get nearly as many details on what's happening.
Am I the only one who pictured Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah, no, you're not. That's what I'm glad somebody else did it.
Over the ark, right? Well, it came straight from here, so it's good to know that somebody's paying attention to the instructions when they made that movie. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, the Ark of the Covenant. It's got the 2 angels with their wings, pointing towards another one.
Can you tell us more about what the imagery of that is? Like, what do the angels look like for those of us who haven't recalled the movie?
I think everybody who's seen it probably remembers what happened to the like that was the first part.
Although when I think of an ark, I think of an ark vertical. And in the movie, they make this horizontal, like a big box, cover on it, and pulls to walk it around. But I just remember the wings being kind of really sharp on the very edges, and kind of they bring towards the figures in the middle, and they are kind of covering the top, kind of making a cover over the
Yes. happens in the space in between. If any of you have heard of the, it's Celtic spiritualist, John O'Donohue, who has a book called To Bless the Space Between Us, and so what gets to happen in the in-between. Amazing. Well, we're about to get into that. Would you like to? So the next reading is from Mika Huvia, who's an amazing angelologist and works at UW Jewish Studies, really studying how Jewish ideas of angels have changed over time. And so I have a very short excerpt from her book. Marty, if you want to read, that would be fabulous. Could you start reading from modern biblical scholars? We'll start the next text. So I think there's a couple of points I want to pull from this. One is the cherubim we're talking about, that they're covering the arcs, angels or not, depends on who you ask and when, so that idea has been changing. And I think the other thing that I think was really interesting with Indiana Jones reference is like, what does the cherubim look like? Are they the more Michelangelo, cute baby Cupid-y type things, which is a much later development and more in the ancient world at the time? You're seeing this more winged lion composition, and so just kind of seeing what is in folks' imaginations now when you're imagining and hearing this. I think it's interesting. Comments, yeah. Yeah, especially when you're living in the wilderness, the wild animals around you become more relevant and in some ways terrifying. So, does anyone recall, without cheating, or you can read ahead, where else we find cherubim throughout the Torah? Yes. Do you want to read the first box text at the bottom of the first page? So just as Liz was saying, we have seen these cherubim figures before when we were leaving the Garden of Eden, and if someone wants to read the second place where we also see them in Torah, or one of the other places we see them in Torah, I didn't include them all in here.
God bent the sky and came down, thick cloud beneath divine feet. God mounted a cherub and flew, and was seen on wings of the wind.
Thank you. So kind of, what have we learned comparing these three different passages about what roles do cherubim play in Torah? We see the third one, they're almost a means of transportation. Any other, yeah. Yeah, so that in between. Anything else? Yeah. I love that imagery, though. It's amazing. So we have three more passages I kind of want to walk us through. We're going to see what the rabbis have to say about the imagery of this cherubim. If anyone wants to read the first text. Yeah. Thoughts, reactions. Yeah. I want to say that's a Malachim, and I think they're a different tier. Like we later have in Maimonides' Mishnah Torah, he goes through and classifies 10 different types of angels, and I believe it's a different type of angel that is here. Yeah, very good. Someone want to read the second text? We're going to get a slightly different take on what we have just. Thank you. Thank you. So we're seeing a slightly different response in the, we have two different texts saying the cherubim are either facing towards the ark or away from the ark. The first one says, well, it depends on how the Jewish people are behaving. This second text will say, oh, we're kind of slanted in between both, so they're both not right nor wrong, as the way a teacher would look. But yeah. We'll do one more text if anyone wants to read the last one. It's oddly quiet for Talmud study. You're oddly quiet for Talmud study. Oh, no.
No, that's fine. I just have been, I've been delighting in the,
Someone want to read the last one?
we didn't accept any of the approval of it. We didn't accept any of it. So it's good.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thoughts? Do you buy this interpretation a little bit more? Where are we seeing, kind of back to Liz's points, our cherubim, what are their relationship to both people and the divine?
Seems like a little negatively that there's a lot here trying to justify maybe a lack of actually being there and seeing what it's like, and not being able to, give the detail of whether the faces of each other or not. But then using that and using the different interpretations that come, after the initial event to say it's whatever you need. It's what you need for your relationship with God. Is it, are they looking towards each other because you're behaving ethically, you're doing the will of God, and so it's a symbol of, of recognizing that? Is it looking towards the sanctuary as an invitation to come back to God, to start doing His will? Is it, they're embracing each other, so it's, trying to show you that in your love and your relationship with Christ, that God loves you the way you love each other, etc. It's just all these different ways of interpreting it, giving you the meaning that you happen to believe in.
I love that, and ties very beautifully back to Rabbi Molly's point last night too, of the what meaning and what is actually salient for us at the time, and how that drives our actions and what we do next. Thank you all. It's lovely. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
At this time in our service, we would like to take the time to pray for those who need healing, either of the body or the mind. And the Misha Barak can be found on page 253 of your Siddur.
Source of strength, who bless the
Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Amy Thornton, Stacy Hetzel, Diane Turner, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Vadim Barzam, Ellen Gottlieb, Vanessa Bianco, Paul McCready, Janelle Cohn, Glenn Letts, Jesse Early, Andrea Girovich, Carl Wilhite, Jenny Gaston, Cindy Balin, Patty Newby, Adrian Hellender, Barbara Laird, Marion Laird, Michelle Arrigo, Joni Michaels, Joe Giordano, Sheldon, Shelley Morgenstern, Roberta Carmel, Brian Ward, Joshua Kornblue, Samuel Navarro Ibarra, Bob Howell, Henrietta Dahlkey, and Colin West. For those that are streaming, if you have somebody you want to pray for, please put their names into the chat. And at this time, I'm going to have Keith lift the Torah, and Grace Elizabeth, if you can help us with wrapping it. And so we're going to be on page 252.
זאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. על פי אדוני
You may be seated. At this time, we're going to just do a very short portion of Haftarah. The Haftarah for Terumah is Achad Mathlim, which is 1 Kings. And if you have the blue cloud, if you just go to the end of the chapter, you can find it. The blessing for Haftarah can be found on page 254. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bakar b'nviim tovim v'divreihem v'hanerarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboker b'Torah u'Moshe abdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nei ha'emet v'tzedek. And this portion of the Haftarah, just like the Torah, is focusing on the adornment of the Mishkan. Vaya Natan Hakama Lishlomi Kaasher Direhem Vaya Hi Shalom Ben Hiram Uvein Shilomi Vayikra Hu Beri El Vayahi Hamash Shaloshim Aleph Ish Vayislahem Lev Nona Sheret Alafim Bekodesh Halifot Kodesh Yahi Yu Velava Non Shanaim Hadashim Beveto Vehadodiram Al Hamas. Page 254. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol haolamim tzadik b'chol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber u'mkayeh shekol davarav emet b'tzedek al ha'torah va'al ha'avodah va'al ha'vi'im va'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatatan lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lekavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mvarachim otak Yifarak Shimcha B'fi Kolchai Tamid Le'olam Va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. At this time, we're now going to return the Torah to the Ark. On page 256.
Beit Ayimi Lamachazikima Betom Etecha Merusha Lirachecha Adin Olam B'chol Tzivotecha Shalom
Please remain standing.
Aleinu Shabbat Adon Hakol, Vatenu Laleon Bereshit, Shelo Asanu Kegoyei Haratzot, V'lo Samanu Kemishpachot Hadama, Shelo Samachenu Lahem, V'gor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, Va'ananu Korim, U'mishpachim Modim, Lifnei Melech, B'chei Elohim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai, Shemelech kol ha'aretz.
We turn now to the memory of those who have departed. In the immortal words of the World War II martyr Hannah Senich, Yesh Kochavim, there are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people we have loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We mourn the recent passing of Frank Allen Coons, Jill Allen Forleo, and Hannah Adler. We observe the yortzites today of Muriel Brill, Erwin Kaplan, Martin Philip Cohen, Larry Coryell, Eugene Friedman, Hyman Hurwitz, George R. Mosler, Tiny Riebman, Iona Schechmeister, Janice Stern, Heinz Vell, and Jack Edwin Williamson. Any others in the congregation that you want today? Page 294, we all rise in solidarity as able. Iskadal v'iskadash shmei rabah, v'yomad divrach yirusei v'yamlich malchasei, v'chayochon v'yomechon, v'chayei l'chol beis Yisrael, v'agora v'zman klari v'imru amen, yehei shmei rabah mevarach le'olam alom el mayam, yisbarach v'yishtabach, v'yishtar v'yisramam v'yisnasei, v'yishadar v'yishaleh v'yishalal, shmei l'kush abrichu, Elam in kol birchasa v'shirasa, tushbachasa v'nechmasa, da'amiron v'olam ha'avim v'amen, yehesh l'rabba mishmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen, oseh shalom b'imramav, u'yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'imramav, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen.
May be seated. We now recite the Kiddush and Motzi before the closing. For begin on page 300. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael.
Yes! V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, v'azot et ha-Shabbat, l'dor from berit olam. B'nivim b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, v'azot et ha-Shabbat, l'dor from berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asar Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, v'azot et ha-Shabbat, l'dor from berit olam. Vayom hashvi, Shabbat vayafach, Shabbat vayafach, Shabbat vayinafach.
berach Adonai es yom ha-Shabbat v'yikadosheu. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Chaim. And for the most. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
No bread for me. Thank you.
I would like to thank everyone here today for putting up so well with the Ashkenazi. Besides the beauty of the Sephardi pronunciation, it was an honor to be up here, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was
It
fun.
was a real,
Thank
it was a
you.
real delight.
You're
It's like-
delightful.
It's like the two shuls in Seward Park, Sephardic Dicker Cholim and Dicker Cholim Machzikei Chadas, across the street from each other,
Join
That's what I-
forces.
joining forces. Only we're reforming, and we're having much more fun.
Yeah. I like fun. That's good.
Thanks for all. There's a small lunch in the back. Please join us.
Thank you guys so much.
There is one more song. There is one more song, and it's your choice.
Well, I'll make it quick, guys. I don't want to keep you too much. But if any of you are coming to the Havdalah, her name's Nikki? I didn't catch her last name. There's Havdalah this evening at her house from 4 to 6. But we're going to do Havdalah, and I'll do a couple, like, jams of my favorite tunes. I'll give you a snippet of a melody that's one of from my all-time favorite band ever, Grateful Dead. Yes! We got one! We got two! Yes! Okay, so you'll appreciate this. Adon Olam, Hashem Alach, B'Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa, Le'chesoko, Azai Melech, Shemoni Ra. Is that the pace of the whole prayer? Because it's going to take forever. No, don't worry. I'm going to kick it up. Here we go. Be'acharei kol tavor, le'avada yivlon nora v'chaya, ve'hu amelech, ve'hu yeh v'tifara. One more verse, here we go. Beyado, Afidu Fi, Be'tishan, Be'ahira, Be'imuki, Be'ati, Be'adonai, Be'lo ira. Thanks. So if you want to hear more Grateful Dead and a couple classic rocks, come on down.
That
to...
is not Grateful Dead.
Yeah, yeah, the melody is from Ripple.
Really?
I sped it up though because Don Olam kind of it's a long one.
That
so-
sounded like right out of a John Wayne Western.
Oh, we'll take that too.
You didn't
Maybe-
study that, though.
No, maybe Jerry got that from the John Wayne Western.
No, that's a wonderful. Of all the Adon Olams I've heard, I've never had. That's a really nice tune.